Hi everyone, it's Julie. I just figured with Thanksgiving coming up soon, I was going to go ahead and make some caramel pecan bars for desserts. Everybody really likes them, so and it's easy. It's a no-bake dessert. It doesn't take very long to put together. These are the ingredients you're going to need. You're going to need a 9 by 13 baking dish lined with foil, and then we're going to spread it with a little thin layer of butter. You're going to need club crackers, about 60 of them. You're going to need chocolate chips, some kind of chocolate. I like milk chocolate. You can use dark chocolate, semi-sweet, whatever you want. And some caramels for the caramel layer, and chopped pecans. And that's it. It's pretty simple to put together, so we're going to go ahead and get started. First thing you want to do is go ahead and put some butter in the bottom of your dish. Just use a paper towel, it's easier that way. Just spread a thin layer around. I'm going to put one layer of crackers in the bottom of the baking dish. We're going to end up with 2 layers of the crackers by the time we're all finished here. Just like that, a layer in the bottom, one even layer. All right, after you get your crackers in a single layer in the bottom of your pan, we're going to go ahead and melt the caramels in a pot on the stove. You're going to want to go on very low heat. I add a tablespoon of water to the caramels and just keep stirring until they're melted. And then when we're done, we're going to spread an even layer over the crackers, and then we're going to take half of our chopped pecans and put over top of that. So that's our next step. Opening the caramels is the hardest part, and it's not even hard, so that's how simple this recipe is. Even though I have 2 bags of caramels, I'm only going to melt 1 bag at a time, because by the time you put all your other stuff on here, your caramel's going to start setting up in the pot and it's going to get hard. So I just do 1 bag at a time. Okay, I'm just going to add a tablespoon of water. That's just going to help them melt a little bit easier. And you definitely want to keep stirring. Turn it on low. This takes a little while too, but you want to do it slow because you definitely don't want them to burn. But once they get going, it goes a little quicker. Okay, as you can see, our caramel is nice and melted. And we're going to go ahead and pour it over top of our crackers. And then we're going to go ahead and take half of our pecans and pour over top of that. So here we go. See, this is what I mean. With the cracker, it's hard because the crackers want to slide around. It's kind of hard getting it into an even layer because the crackers want to move around in the pan, so you just have to work with it, do the best you can. It's not going to matter once they're all cut up. You're not going to notice too much of anything. So we're going to take half of our chopped pecans, put over top of that. Spread them out in an even layer. I'm opening the second bag of caramels, get ready to melt them. So just have a couple more to go here. I didn't use all the caramel from the first bag because you need to have enough for 3 layers of caramel, and I was thinking 2 layers, so I just saved a little bit in the bottom of the pan so I'll have enough for 3 layers. Now the next thing I'm going to do is put another tablespoon of water in here and get to melting them. Again, make sure you turn your burner on low. This is a long, slow process here. Just want to make sure they all get nice and melted because they're easier to pour. And once you get the caramel on your crackers, you definitely want to work fast because it gets hard pretty quick. So we're going to get these all melted up and then we'll get right back with you. Okay, as you can see, we have the caramel all melted, and we're going to take half of this caramel, pour over top of our pecan layer, and then we're going to add more crackers on top of that. So we're just going to take half of it and do a nice little layer. Well, you can spread it out. This is easier than spreading it on top of the crackers. Spread it on the pecans. So we're just going to get this spread around. Oh, this is a mess. Now go ahead and top this with the rest of the crackers. You kind of have to work fast because the caramel sets up really quick, and you feel like you're rushing, but you kind of have to. So we're going to top our cracker layer with the remaining caramel. Okay, so there's that part. And our next step is we're going to melt 2 cups of chocolate chips. Like I said, you can use dark chocolate if you want, or semi-sweet. I like milk chocolate. So it's 2 cups, or about an 11-ounce bag. So we're going to go ahead and melt that in the microwave. Just stir it every like 30 seconds or so, and then we're going to pour that over top of this. Okay, I just have a 2-cup measuring cup here, microwave safe, so I'm just going to pour my chocolate chips in here. Measure out 2 cups, or about. Doesn't have to be perfect. Get them in the microwave and start melting them. We're just going to do about 30 seconds at a time, and then stop and stir it. Once the chocolate is all nice and melted, then we're just going to pour it over our caramel layer. So we'll get back to you in just a second. Okay, we have our chocolate all melted, and we're just going to go ahead and pour this on top of our caramel layer and spread it out. Now everybody's microwaves are different, so you definitely want to keep an eye on it. Don't want your chocolate to burn. And we're just going to top it with the rest of our pecans. Now you can buy your pecans chopped already, or you can buy whole ones and chop them yourself, whichever is easier for you. All right, so just want to press them down in there. That way when we go ahead and cut them, that they don't all fall off. You will lose some when you cut them, but you press them down in there, most of them will stay okay. All right, so that's it for that. And we're gonna put them in the refrigerator and let them cool, and then cut them into bars. Okay, our pecan bars are set up, so I flipped it over on a piece of wax paper. It's just easier to get the aluminum foil off the back and make sure we got it all, because it wants to stick to the caramel. So I'm going to try to cut it this way. I never cut them upside down before, so I'm just going to use the crackers as a guideline and kind of go with those. I think that's plenty big enough bites, you know, pieces, because they're pretty sweet. So let me see how easy these are to cut. Probably not going to be very easy, but we'll give it a try. Yeah, just be very careful because they are a little hard to cut. So just take your time, and you'll get it eventually. Maybe if once you take them out of the fridge, let them sit for a few minutes and they'll come to room temperature, they might be a little easier to cut like that. So, but I'm just going to go ahead and cut these into bars. Oops. I want to cut up my counter, so just want to be easy with them. Yeah, they're a little hard, so, but once you get them cut and they come to room temperature, they're pretty good. Okay, so I'm going to just get the rest of these cut and then show you the finished product.
They look like the countertop.
Yeah, they're blending in. Mm-hmm. Okay, here's our finished caramel pecan bars. They're pretty simple to make, but I would suggest leaving them sit out at room temperature once you remove them from the refrigerator, because they are hard to cut. So, and they get a little crumbly too, so let them come to room temperature. But they're a pretty simple cookie. Well, I call them a cookie, but they're more like a bar. But if you like no-bake things, this is perfect. And they're really good too. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe.